Hey folks, it's time for yet another custom lesson. This one has been requested by SEL. I don't know if I pronounced it right. Can I do an aggressive combo key killer confusion build? Just as a reminder, I don't really do builds in the traditional sense where I'm like, hey, min-max this gear or anything like that. I just show you how to work with melee weapons and soul cores and yokai shifts so that you can kick butt and really get more out of this game than you might have thought was possible. So let's get on with the weapons. We got fists, we've got tonfas, and before I get to the guardian spirits, let me highlight just a little bit here. So the tonfas that I'm using have the following: anima bonus grapple, which is great, and their purity. And then I have my usual corrupted fists. So again, I was going for the confusion aspect of this, so I wanted all elements, and then I noticed that the soul cores, which I'll showcase soon enough, they're quite pricey, so I needed something to assist me with the anima bonuses. In actuality, I didn't really need this as much as I thought I did, but having purity tonfas and corrupted fists is of course really nice. So let's get on to the guardian spirits and talk about what was specifically requested. First things first was Nightmare Bringer on Baku. So Nightmare Bringer is really good for corrupted weapons in general, simply because the locked stats really facilitate that. Anima charge with an awakened weapon gets boosted. You do additional damage against corrupted enemies. And then as you can see, I didn't actually rank up this too high, but if you wanted to min-max this, then rank 30 of course would be the way to go. Any anima bonuses that you can have to facilitate this extreme cost would be helpful. A Nightmare Bringer basically summons 3 tornadoes which just spin around you, hit a bunch of targets, and can potentially confuse enemies. So it's a very powerful core. However, it costs a lot, which is why I thought, hey, if it's going to cost a lot, then I want to make sure that at least I can spend it. So that's why I wanted the anima bonuses. But yeah, Baku is again requested. It's really good for corrupted weapon support, corrupted accumulation, do more damage against corrupted enemies, and then anima charge. So kind of like the safe go-to for many players who like to use corrupted weapons. Also, it has a whopping amount of attunement, so you can put in quite a lot. But let's get on to the next soul core, which was requested, Magatsu Warrior. Now what Magatsu Warrior does is that it's really good for a few things. One, as you may notice here in this tooltip, it can summon a bunch of projectiles, but this is actually the weaker version that costs 6 anima. If you unleash the skill again, so you activate it twice with 9 anima, you can do a much faster version of this, which is cool. This is one of the few soul cores I would highly recommend you get to rank 30 simply because of this. Anima charge bonus cumulative damage. So this is like the feral bonus that you get. And yeah, it helps. Basically, you're attacking, and the more you're attacking and don't get hit, you get more anima. So it's an all-purpose thing. And you definitely want to boost it, especially on Brute or Phantom Spirits. Not so much on Feral, it's not too important there. But on Brute and Phantom, it's such a big deal because you don't get anima charge bonus cumulative damage naturally. Also, I wanted the yokai ability key pulse, so you guys will see me go for that all the time. If I can get it, I will. Next, of course, is anima. There's nothing to complain about by having more anima. I'm going to be spending a lot, so get more anima. Last but not least, Ippon was requested. This is your quick stagger core, and it will stagger enemies and inflict a good amount of key damage. So this is for confusion property, damage-based purposes, and Magatsu and Ippon are both for doing key damage. That is what they excel at. When it came to Ippon, I just literally picked the Brute Ippon I had. You don't really need to level this up. If you happen to get a good anima charge or anima bonus, go ahead and boost it up. But yeah, Ippon is very fast. There's a lot of cool properties with it and is a favorite amongst many players simply because it is fast. Although, it costs 7 anima. So Magatsu Warrior is the cheapest on this technically with 6 anima, then you have a 7 anima, and then the second tier version of Magatsu can go up to 9 anima, and then Nightmare Bringer is 10. So this is still very expensive, so I need to make sure I have enough anima to pull this off. Let's get on to the secondary guardian spirit that was requested. Ho'o is really good for purity-based stuff, which is why, again, I have purity-based Tonfa, so I can do even more key damage against a purified enemy. So what do we have here? Purified accumulation, purified damage against enemies that are purified, do more damage, take less damage against yokai. It's pretty cool. This guardian spirit is a lot of fun to work with and is also another favorite, and it has 26 attunement limit, which means you can put a lot on. Speaking of what was put on, Lightning Gods of Yomi. So at first I had one that had anima bonus confused enemy, but then because of Otakemaru, which I'll get to, I realized, hey, let me just pick whatever else. So I got Anima bonus inflict ailment. I think at rank 30 it goes up to B+, but it helps. The fact is we're going to be applying a lot of elements back to back, so taking advantage of that is great. But you can have, of course, any other Anima bonus that you like. You do not need the specific one. I just happen to have this one. Yomi is great in that it can inflict lightning, and it can basically teleport you to a desired direction. It's not necessarily the best to use at point blank range. I find it most effective when I'm traveling or trying to travel distances. I'll talk more about that a bit later. Next is Suiki, yet again also requested. I didn't bother ranking this one up, but I would recommend you do so simply because the Anima bonus when you apply Saturate for the first time, getting a chunk of Anima back is pretty nice. All that was important to me was the Yokai ability Ki Pulse, literally nothing else. Now, although this says it costs 5, in practice, you're not just going to activate it for a split second, so this is yet quite expensive in my opinion, especially if you use it for like longer than a few seconds. A Yomi is 7 costs, so still expensive. Last but not least, we have Otakemaru. This was specifically requested, and this is one of those cores I would highly recommend you boost the rank of to 30. Why? Not only do you get extra Anima, but you have one of the best Anima bonuses in the game. Anima bonus confused enemy AA. So basically, when you confuse them and you start wailing on them, you'll get a ton of Anima back. It is absolutely ridiculous. There are some really cool things that I happen to have on this. I have Life Drain, Yokai Ability Hit, which is great. Ki Pulse, which of course you guys know I like. I know it's a bit redundant with my Suiki, but this is just one I had. And it was cool that this had Nullified Damage Yokai Shift. I wasn't specifically hunting for it, it was just cool. But nonetheless, Otakemaru is 10 Anima. This is very expensive, and even though it summons a bunch of elemental swords and can hit all sorts of things and can be effective against larger targets, fact of the matter is it's expensive. The animation will play out, you're free to act as you please, but again, it is expensive. So let's now showcase soul core properties just so that you're aware of what we're really working with. So starting with Nightmare Bringer. Now as a reminder, I am testing the animation times by seeing how soon my character will block. I'm going to be holding block the entire time of an animation just so I know when's the soonest I can respond. Alright, so let's do Nightmare Bringer. Looks like I can respond fairly quickly. Also, another additional thing you need to be aware of is that even though the Nightmare Bringer animation is quite long, you can actually respond with another soul course quite soon. It doesn't have to be when the animation finishes. It's actually a little bit before then. So let me showcase it again. I'm going to spam Magatsu and you'll see the earliest I can do it. It looks like just about as the animation's gonna end is when I can do something. So really cool with Nightmare Bringer. Next, let's go with Magatsu since I was just using it. 6 Anima version, how soon can I respond? Pretty quickly. What about 9 Anima version? Pretty quick as well. So even though these animations are long, I have quick response time. Ippon is arguably the fastest though. Look how fast that is. It's a very fast core. It is in fact spammable, and you can do quite a lot with it. Ippon has some interesting properties in that, so if you take a look, as soon as I activated it, I'm well above ground. So what this means is that you can avoid many different sweeps. So any AoE attacks, Ippon basically laughs at. In addition, Ippon is yet one of the other soul cores that has some grab immunity properties. There's a bunch that share this, but I think Ippon is the one that does not have it, or is the only one that has it on this Guardian Spirit. So yeah, pretty cool. But this is your fast cancel core, and it costs 7 Anima, so quite expensive. Now what about on the secondary Guardian Spirit? Let's see Lightning God Yomi. So Lightning God Yomi, reasonably quick animation time, reasonably quick response time, which is pretty cool. But as you can see, if you don't really have a target or you are right next to it, you just kind of stay in place. When I find it'd be more effective, and let me show you, when a target is somewhat at a distance. So if you've disengaged from your opponent and want to get back into the fight, use Yomi to inflict lightning. And so that can be very powerful. Alright, let's kill this guy before I get onto Suiki. So Suiki is super fast, alright? Very fast. Some wind-up time, but once this gets going, and by the way, you can stay in place if you want. Just hold down the button, or you can just move around and not hold down the yokai ability button, and then when you let go, you'll stop doing it, right? So it's relatively quick animation time, and then when you want to act, you can act really quickly, which is really cool. Last but not least, there's Otakemaru. You can respawn very quickly, in the same way you could with Nightmare Bringer. However, when's the soonest I can use the yokai ability seems to be at the very end of the animation, so somewhat different compared to Nightmare Bringer. Now let's showcase some yokai shift combos that you can work with, and then I'll start incorporating weapon-based play. And I can tell you it can be remarkably powerful. You have massive amounts of power plays here. Alright, let's get you out of key. Please don't die. You can activate Ho-Oh. And Lightning got the Yomi into that. I mean, it's quite dirty. I mean, even just the following. I mean, that's a lot of pressure, man. Let's showcase it on an actual enemy just so you know what to expect. Now let's go. Quite dirty. Alright, whatever, you're dead. Let's showcase some brute stuff. I would say brute actually is more powerful than the phantom setup. I mean, that's just been my experience, but you'll just see. Brute does have quite a lot of potential when it comes to yokai shift. Come on, let's just deplete your ki. Alright, pop yokai shift. Of course, you can paralyze enemies. Dang it, I need a better showcase. Give me just a moment. Always do stuff like this. Pretty freaking dirty, man. I mean, just this alone is quite powerful. And then Ippon can come out when you'd like. It's here, let me show it against a human just so you're aware of how dumb it can be. Alright. Just need a little anima. On a little bit. Okay, perfect. Oh my god, they're just dead. It's ridiculous. You got basically quad elemental confusion on both guardian spirits. It can be really dumb. You can charge this up. Send a bunch of projectiles away. It's straight up killer. Like it's batshit crazy. I don't have any other words for it. Now let's talk about weapon-based play and how you can combine them. So Fist Tonfa destroys enemies, humans specifically, because you can zero key combo endlessly, and like it's quite comical. I mean, look, no key whatsoever. That's cute, dude. Just be silly. Let's just watch you die. Yeah, you're dead. Anyway, it's pretty crazy what you can do just with the weapons alone, and when you start mixing in soul cores, it gets even dumber too. Come on, I dare you to dodge back, dude. Don't worry, I'll kill you. Okay, you're dead. So yeah, you got a huge amount of damage output, but let me take a moment to not work with the soul cores rather. So let's just deal with the weapons. All right. So you have a lot of key damage at your disposal, and so you pretty much just want to have non-stop pressure no matter what. You have the ability to do Demon Dance to avoid attacks if you're too close for comfort. You have on-key pulse abilities, relatively quick flash attacks. You have Opportunist, which can be really handy if you know how to use it well. Aww. It's pretty nuts. Makes in the brute attack as well, and you just will find that you have almost unlimited pressure potential at close range. Of course, this is quite taxing when you're up close, which is where the soul cores really come into play. So what are some cool combos that I like? Defensive drop into that. I find that pretty cool. Defensive drop into sunrise into flash attack. Of course, you can mix this in as follows, and it just feels quite seamless. Again, because you have on-key pulse abilities such as Demon Dash, you can do flash attacks and make it really quick. So here, let me do it with the fist. And so it just, there's this constant string of things that can go. But here we go. Let's showcase a few things. Here we go. Get that Azuno. Oh, look, confusion. What do you know? I'll just let you burn. Of course, applying elements is not going to be that easy. But the fact that it can happen at all is pretty nuts. Break the horn. Deplete the key. Let's throw in Magatsu Warrior. Yokai Shift. Alright, Guardian Spirit. Into Nightmare Bringer. Let's charge up. Okay, he's dead. That's just one example of a routine that you can do. This Tonfa is super good at pressure, and when you can amplify that pressure with crazy confusion and damage, it's just silly. It's straight up silly. Alright, let's do it this way. Let's move around. Dead. It's kind of silly, right? It's really hard, in all honesty, to sequence between the weapons when the targets are just dead. Try it again, though. I'm sure you can imagine all sorts of combos that can come out of this. Dead. I'm not really even able to fiddle around with this. But I'm sure you can imagine. Let's just go murder a human. Honestly, I don't really have many words. It's just, this stuff is crazy powerful. And Yokai Shift is just straight up bonkers. You have access to power plays. You have your weapons will work quite well naturally, as they are. I would say, like, really maybe the only weakness to this setup might simply be that you don't really have any long range options. So if you're comfortable being in the close range, then you're in pretty good shape. But oh well. I think I'll spend the last bit of this just trying to showcase some cool ideas in which you can incorporate some soul cores. So I'll showcase yet again some things you can do with, say, Tonfa. Okay, come on, deplete key. Knock him away to bridge the gap. Let's do Lightning Gods of Yomi. Ippon into Zuno Drop is pretty cool. Let's showcase some other things. I'll fight a human once again. Flash attack. Non-stop. There you go. I mean, they're dead. I can't really play with my food, so to speak. Let's showcase a few more things against the Yoki, and then I will get on to the enemy that I have chosen. Okay. Good job, Ippon. Go Yokai Shift. Guardian Spirit, here we go. I mean, they're dead. They're really dead. You would pretty much need purple enemies to be able to, like, fully test this. So I think, as opposed to me trying to showcase combos when it's just not feasible given that enemies are dying, I think instead we'll move on to the gameplay showcase. In any case, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys momentarily. Alrighty, it's time to show off what this is all about, and you're going to see some really powerful stuff. So first enemy I have to fight is Ongyoki. I'm using my Purity Tonfas because that'd be very effective. And my objective is very simple, deplete his ki, which I can do with things like Ippon and constant pressure plays courtesy of Magatsu Warrior on top of some pretty powerful Tonfas. And so Demon Dance really helps me avoid all sorts of attacks, as you can see. Missed that last one, but not to worry. Magatsu is going to get me back to full life anyway. And then, yeah, let's go for that grapple, get some sweet, sweet anima, courtesy of the Demon Horde Tonfa, the anima bonus. Ouch, that hit wasn't nice. Punished back with Ippon. And then, now I'm just freestyling more or less. Switching over to fists, or claws in my case, because I want to mess around with them. So we've got these chumps. So yeah, Magatsu Warrior, thanks for killing them both. I really appreciate it. Now the next enemy that I'm going to face is going to be a Kinki, in which I really showcase the power of this by just applying every conceivable element that I can. At least I think that's what I do. So first is Corruption, and then let's see what goes on next. Oh, never mind. Looks like I got the Shifting Grapple. I'm waiting to apply another element, it seems. Where's the other element? Use the other element, dude. Okay, that counts. Nightmare Bringer, thank you. And then I guess Umbral Bullet. And then, yeah, it's dead. I mean, not much it can do. Oh, my item box is full. Oops. Alright, now we've got these Aberrant Soldiers. They're nothing really to worry about. They're just pretty stably basic enemies. So yeah, I'm just going to deplete their key, get that grapple. Got a Shifting Grapple yet again. And that target's dead. Let's go to the next Aberrant. I'm not really like worried whatsoever, so I'm using this time to not like focus on making sure all my combo play is great. That actually sucked. Lightning Gods of Yomi missed. Felt pretty bad, not gonna lie. And so that's what I was talking about, in which sometimes it can just miss, so it's generally better to use it if a target's kind of stationary, and they're far away preferably, just so you can make sure that you track them. Now we've got Harinobos, they present no threat. I inflict fire with Ippon, and then right now I'm actually trying to take advantage of the confused enemy anima bonus, so you're gonna see me just try to inflict confusion and then watch my anima grow. Boom, wow, that's a lot. In any case, who's the main enemy? Purple Tate Eboshi. That's right, I stepped this up. So first step is inflict good ol' purity, and now I've already applied confusion courtesy of Suiki, and so now I just want to keep confusion up as long as possible and hopefully drain her ki. Because yeah, she's really tanky. So I throw out Otakemaru, I inflict basically every element minus corruption. And so I've got corruption up for quite a while. I use Ippon. I get a little, I guess, finger-tied, butterfingers, I don't know what to call it. But I have a little trouble. I'm like trying to use the Phantom Yokai Shift, but instead I just kind of messed up. I was like, alright, whatever, let's just go Brute Yokai Shift. Yeah, if you can call this messing up, right? So Baku, Paralysis, Nightmare Bringer, and back into the zero key state yet again. I was trying to switch yet again over to Ho-Oh, but it just wasn't happening, so I'm like, as opposed to risking an animation, let's just go to town with this. So I throw out my Guardian Spirit again, and man, look, that life, she basically has like none. It's quite remarkable, right? Already 50% of her health depleted. And let's get Fang Break, very nice, very nice. Use Ippon, deplete that key once again. Nightmare Bringer to inflict confusion, oh dear lord. And here's where I go into Ho-Oh. I'm not able to capitalize on it. I just like messed up some Yokai Shift usage. It like dodged twice when I just wanted to avoid it once, throw out the Guardian Spirit, but not to worry, Purity has been applied anyway. So she's really not able to put up much of a fight. Confusion up yet again, which means, guess what, she can't do jack squat if I'm applying pressure when she's confused. So let's show off with Beyond Infinity, then throw out Otakemaru, which I guess is thematic since I am technically Otakemaru in this. And then boom, let's get another grapple. Man, she's nearly done. I throw out Otakemaru, and now I'm just like, yeah, it's time to disrespect you, so I'm just gonna spam all the jutsu I have. That's literally how I'm gonna kill her, not even kidding. Umbral Bullet into good ol' Flaming Dragon. Yeah, she's dead. So that was a pretty disrespectful way to kill her, but yeah, it worked, and you could see I overall didn't have much trouble. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was entertaining, and I will see you guys next time.